Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
Fulham and Manchester United. I sat down to watch that game. The thing about Manchester United is that they start up very well. I understand what Amorim is trying to do. I can see that they play good for the, especially that first 15 minutes. They press Fulham. They hit the bar. Hit the bar. Missed one-on-one chances when the goalkeeper gave him that beautiful ball. He trapped it and missed a one-on-one chance. Then they were trying to score, and after 15-20 minutes, something happened. They won a penalty, and Fernandes skied it. And after that, he was talking about one thing I don't know, that the referee bumped into him. That's why he missed. I don't know what he was talking about. He's always crying sometimes. But fantastic game for first. It was a game of two halves. Man, you played well in the first half. Second half, they fell off. They fell off real hard. That the way they fell off is that at the end of the day, Fulham had more shots than them and had more position. That's how they fell out in that second half. Not about the first half. It was the second half. If you look at that game in general, Amorim versus Fulham, what do you see in that game? Let me start with you, Nasu.
It go good if Man United don't collect that £100 million for Bruno Fernandes. It will make sense finally, because yesterday we saw him at the absolute low. At the absolute low. This is the first time you see Bruno Fernandes put up a very, very poor, not just a poor performance, a very poor performance. I think very. I think
it's when they are playing him is the problem.
Thank you. Godwin, you will live long. Thank you.
Bruno has always been a deep lying creative player.
Lie.
He's look at the mixture. Like I said under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before they sacked him. Look at the mixture of Pogba and the rest of them. Pogba was more. If you look at the way they set up, Pogba will go from the left. Bruno and Fred in between the defense line. Then why he creates from there and send those long balls in. From that deep sitting role, he can see the forward passes, and he can also join the progression. He's that player who can create from deep line role, and he can create from behind the tens. So you can't tell me he's not this good or he's not that good.
At some point,
I just feel like in this game, like I said, he meets it very, very low in this game.
And missed a penalty.
Now, look at everything that happened in that game. We see at Casemiro, it was balanced in midfield. The first half, they had a good performance.
First 20 minutes was there, yes.
First half, they had a good performance. Second half, when they came into the game, they had a good performance. They got a goal. Lenny Euro, and they say it's own goal. We agree, but now the Lenny Euro goal with that. Mbemo with the assist, actually, from the set piece, corner kick. Man United don't learn to solve from set piece. Good for Onate try. But when substitutions happened, the substitutions was when I felt like, bros, these subs were early. First, I'm not going to complain. The substitution that was early, I'm not going to complain about it. But it's who you are taking out. Because you're one goal up and you're taking out a Casemiro for an Ugarte. I think it was Mason Mount. Mason Mount for Ugarte first.
No,
then Casemiro.
I think they brought off Casemiro and put in Casemiro, and Ahmed came out and put in Dalot and
Sesko. That's what I'm saying.
Mount moved back.
Then they took him off for. I think they took him off for Ugarte.
Yes.
Now where they lost that game was when they took out these two players in midfield, Ahmad Kars. They lost midfield there because every other person was. If you look at that lot, they exposed him. If you look at, it's not about having the energy to run. It's not about being the coach's favorite. At some point, the manager said it's not about favoritism. It's about competition for places. Bros, Ahmad was. If you look at Ahmad from that right side, Man United had it on lock from that side. But after his exit, they had exposure from there. I think that the goal from Fulham came from that area.
Yeah, it came from that area.
So
it will be with an assist.
With the cross. So you see that. There are players who you have in your team. They have the energy to burn for 90 minutes. There are some substitutions you make and you lose the game. And Fulham came out to say it's not about the midfield. They know they were going to do some things in the midfield, but it's about the defense, the way they set up, how to break the line of defense, which means teams are also studying how to break your defensive line.
I think
because look at the run from. I think nobody was, and if you look at the goal for Fulham, nobody was picking up the run of Smith Rowe. Nobody was picking him up.
If you look at that game, generally, John, if you look at that game, when the game finished again, if you go on, because whenever the game finished, what the thing I do, if I finish watching the game, I just watch the press conference of the coach. Then I go on social media to see what general view everybody is thinking about. If you go on social media, everyone will still think that 4-3-3 will not work at Manchester United because of the player they have, especially Fernandes. If you are going to play Fernandes as a midfielder, as that CM, most times it does not work. That's what they are saying. I saw that game. I could see what they are saying. They prefer Fernandes behind the strike. That's what they prefer. But do you think, if you look at Manchester United and Amorim, do you think that this is things. He started again. He started doing this Kunya and Mount as
Mount as
interchanging it, and everybody was saying start Sesko, because I understand what they are meaning. Do you know that if you start a game, you progress with the team? Most times, if they introduce you, most times everybody is not destabilized.
You're lost in traffic, man.
But I think if they started Sesko in that game, Sesko might struggle at the beginning, but he will progress as the game progresses. But everybody is complaining. He still starting Mount as a first line. They should throw in Sesko. But in general, what do you see about Amorim and his style of play?
Godwin, I have 5 categorical points to make on this topic because I don't want to get emotional about this right now. Number 1, Amorim should come out and tell the fans if he wants to win matches and if he still wants to be Manchester United coach, because it is expected of a Manchester United coach that you set up to win games and you do not set up to defend. You set up to come out to play progressive football and win games. QED. Secondly, if this is the way Amorim wanted to set his side up coming into the season, I'm sure Jim Ratcliffe is somewhere regretting that he spent £210 million and Manchester United have not scored a goal from open play this season by their own players, with the 210 million strikers starting or playing the game. That is very, very telling. Now, I'm saying this because if you put it in context with his performances with other superstars and star players, he has always bottled his own players to promote his image. We saw it when he forced Garnacho out of the side, when he also forced Anthony out of the side. I'm sure there are Manchester United fans that will be like, look, these guys, the only problem they have at Manchester United is that Amorim say you don't need them again. QED. Not necessarily that they don't want to play for the club or they don't have what it takes. You understand me? And right now, with no buyer coming in for them, if anything happens to Fernandes injury-wise, if anything happens to Kunya or Matisi, who is coming in to come and fill those gaps. So that's one. Then secondly, now, talking about this other one. Now, secondly, not starting Sesko is an affront, because if you want this guy to be part of your long-term vision, you will give him the game time required to fraternize with those guys, to blend in, to understand how they are playing their game. You will not start him from the bench.
He was lost in that
Thank you, man. And I can't look at Ekitike for Liverpool starting his games. First goal, first assist. Look at Gyökeres for Arsenal. Terrible first performance in the Premier League. 2 goals in the second game. If you go back to preseason, he scored in the preseason as well. So I'm just saying that if this guy, you really wanted him and you got him in for yourself, unless say that Jim give you. If not Jim give you, you are doing this, but you understand that whatever happens with this guy, your job is on the line because you've been backed. Nobody will come out and say you've not gotten your own players in, because you've gotten your own players in this window. You wanted Matisi, you wanted Mbeumo, you wanted this striker up front, you wanted, and they've been giving you. So right now, you are scoring yourself. That's the 3rd point. The 4th part now in this issue is...
He said reach past 5.
I
part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. If you come from part 1 and start to answer you.
The 4th one in this scenario now is that this Manchester United side, you are seeing the way they set up, apart from the formation, the players he plays in key positions are a product of not having the right players he wanted ab initio. Not having the right players you wanted ab initio. You move a pure 10 like Bruno Fernandes out of his position and played him deeper, and you complain to the board that you need 2 10s. What happened to Bruno in that team? What happened to Mount in that team? What happened to Ahmad in that team? Oh, they are not good enough. Ahmad, they are good enough to come and play wing back. Bruno, you are good enough to come and play 6. So you take a player out of his strength, put him in his weakness. As captain, you have to lead the line. He don't die for that position. A couple of good performances, a couple of good goals. Manchester United fans will celebrate the goals and they will overlook the mistake. What happened this season now when you have other people in those positions and you're struggling and you're losing from that position?
Okay.
You are now in a terrible life with the fans. So I'm saying that people calling for Bruno's neck because of the penalty miss and the performance should not have any bone to pick with him because he's not played in his natural position. QED.
Okay, if you look at statistics in that game, Fulham had 13 shots and 4 on target. Manchester United had 10 and 3 on target. Fulham had 53% possession, more than Manchester United 47. Had more passes than Manchester United, 419 passes. Manchester United have 397. being outplayed by Fulham is actually terrible. You cannot go and be outplayed. You can win games, but that's what we are saying last week. Manchester United, the same thing we talked about last season. They will perform this particular game against Arsenal or Manchester City.
Consistently
Then
inconsistent.
they will play Bournemouth at
you.
Old Trafford, and Bournemouth will trash them and
Thank
beat them.
you.
The same thing. They played well against Arsenal.
Godwin,
Struggled against Fulham.
See, you will not tell me they didn't play well against Fulham.
Oh wow.
I said they tried, but if you compare what they played against Arsenal with this,
It's not be the same level, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Consistency, it means that we could see that either you are consistent or you're actually making improvement. You can see the improvement. You cannot be outplayed by Fulham. Fulham had more shots on target than you. Had total shot. They had more position. They passed the ball more than you. What did you have more than them?
Thank you.
They passed the ball more than you. Than say person passed to goalkeeper. Pass and back to the defender.
But they pass more than you.
They pass more than you.
No, because
Even me.
I talk here every day, and I'll continue to sing it like a broken, like John will say, you're beginning to sound like a broken record right now. I'll begin to sing it here like a broken record. I don't count passes completed as an achievement.
Oh,
passes completed. If it's not forward passes, Jorginho get more. See, if now so you want to talk, Jorginho had more passes than Fabregas. In his playing career, he had more passes than Fabregas. But how many of those passes were useful?
Well,
you get me? Now I'll still go back to say
I don't
Fred and Scott McTominay had more passes than Kevin De Bruyne. But how many of those passes were called?
Let me tell you something about teams. Depending on the way you set up, Jorginho was set up to recycle possession. That's how he was. So that's why he played for Chelsea.
Same thing with Fabregas.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he played first team football for many years for Chelsea, because his job was to recycle possession.
The same thing for Saka.
Fab played more as an attacking midfielder. So he was there to create chances. So you can understand that.
Even in a team where he was playing a deep lying role.
If you look at this generally, I think that if I saw that game, the way they played the way they played Arsenal and the way they played Fulham, my own is that you have to be consistent. Consistency is what we are looking for. You don't have to play well against Arsenal. Okay, even if you are going to play bad, play and win.